Hey, what's up everyone? In today's video, I'm going to be doing a quiz testing my hockey knowledge. I'm going to be trying to guess the last 50 Stanley Cup winners in order. So going from 2020 to 1968. I'm hopeful that I can get all of them. I've been following hockey my whole life and going into history books for the past years, obviously before I was born. So I'm going to go over each year one by one. Hopefully, I can get all of them. I'm going to have the quiz linked in the description below if you guys are interested in doing it first to see how you did. And without further ado, here we go with the Stanley Cup Champions quiz. So starting the quiz, I think I can just put the team names. So 2020, Tampa Bay Lightning, the most recent winner. The Blues in 2019. Okay, I just put the team name. Don't have to put the whole city. We only have 5 minutes to do so. 2018 Washington Capitals. 16-17 it was the Penguins back-to-back, the latest back-to-back cup winner. 2015 you've got the Blackhawks, part of their 3 Stanley Cups in the 2010s. The Kings won in 2014. 2013 was the second of the Blackhawks Cups. 2012 it was the Kings again. 2011 the Boston Bruins. 2010 Chicago Blackhawks as well. 2009 was the Pittsburgh Penguins, Sidney Crosby's first cup. The Detroit Red Wings won the year before, which was those opponents were reversed each time they played each other. 2007, it got Anaheim Ducks. I keep trying to say 27. 2006, it got Carolina Hurricanes, who won. 2005, of course, was the lockout. 2004 was the Tampa Bay Lightning. 2003 was the New Jersey Devils. 2002 was the Colorado Avalanche. It was the Red Wings. Red Wings in 2002, Avalanche in 2001, the Devils in 2000. 99 was the famous skate in the crease goal for Brett Hull. 98, 97 was the Red Wings back-to-back. 96 was the Colorado Avalanche, their first cup. 95 New Jersey Devils. 94 the year was born, the New York Rangers. I was born right after the Habs Cup in 1993. 92-91 Penguins back-to-back. 1990 was the Edmonton Oilers. 89 was the Calgary Flames versus the Canadiens. 88-87 it was the Oilers as well. 86, 85, 84, 83. 86 was the Habs. And then the Oilers won 2 more, 85 and 84. And then it was 4 straight for the New York Islanders, 83, 82, 81, and 80. Following the 4 from the Islanders, the 4 from the Habs. So 79, 78, 77, 76. Those famous years where they were just, they wouldn't lose a game. They got guys like Guy Lafleur, Ken Dryden in net. One of the best teams in history. And then 75, 74, you got Philly, who won a couple. Philadelphia Flyers. 73, it was the Montreal Canadiens. So they went back and forth between them and the Bruins. So Canadiens is 73, Bruins is 72, if I can spell correctly. Canadiens is 71, Bobby Orr, Bruins in 1970. And finishing it off, the Canadiens is 69, 68, and 67 was the Toronto Maple Leafs. So there you go. I was able to get all of the Stanley Cup winners. I had one Red Wings and Avalanche where I mixed up, but I figured it out after. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can name the past 50 Stanley Cup winners. I'd like to know how you guys did. Maybe I'll do some more quizzes in the future as well. But since it was a bit of a shorter video, I'm going to be doing a bit of ranking next. Alright, so I found this tier list here on Tier Maker for NHL players, and it was usually done for the talent of the players, elite, franchise, etc. But I think it'd be fun to do a bit of a favorite tier list. So players that I'm not really a fan of, neutral, players that I like, players that I really like, and players that are some of my favorites. So we've got NHL Forwards only here. May do like a tier list of defensemen and goalies in the future if you guys would like that. Might do it in the future as well. So I'm going to start off with Alexander Barkov. Alexander Barkov is a very good player. For a lot of time, he was underrated, actually. I'm going to put him in really alike. I think he's one of the top centers in the league. Very good hands, very good two-way game, very well disciplined. I think as an overall player, Alexander Barkov is really fun to watch. I have him in really light. Alex Ovechkin, he's one of my favorite players of all time. Obviously, one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. We may see him break Gretzky's goal record if he stays healthy and if he's able to play enough games. That would be amazing to see. Alex Ovechkin is such an amazing player, a very big influence in the game of hockey. He's one of my favorites for sure. Anze Kopitar, gonna put him in like. There's not a lot of players from the LA Kings that I'm a big fan of, but I think that Kopitar, he's really the best player, the cornerstone of that team for many years, and I really like his play. I think that he can be underappreciated given he does play in LA, but I do respect him a lot. Very good player. Artemi Panarin, I'm going to put him in really light. He's one of the best players in the league right now. Star with the New York Rangers, and he's very fun to watch, an electric player. He's going to be fun to watch with guys like Lafreniere moving forward as well. So Austin Matthews here, I'm going to go with not a fan because I'm a Habs fan. If he'd play with any other team, I'd probably put him in like because he's such a talented player. But being a Habs fan, he's a rival. I'm not going to be cheering for him. But honestly, I kind of wish I could cheer for him. Like, let's say if he was outside of the division. It's one of those things where it's not as much as against the player. It's more of the team that he plays against, right? So this kind of a thing. But because of that, you know what? I'm actually going to bump him up to neutral. I'm going to put Brad Marchand not a fan just because I'm not a fan of the way necessarily sometimes he crosses the line, does dumb stuff. But he's a very talented player, obviously, and I grew up in watching him play with the Moncton Wildcats, but just because he's with Boston, similar to Matthews, I'm bumping up Matthews just because of the talent and goal scoring ability. He's pretty fun to watch for that. So that's going to be those two guys there. Brayden Point, I really like Brayden Point. He's an awesome player, very talented. He's a smaller guy, but he's really fast, skill with the puck on that amazing Tampa Bay Lightning team. Brock Besser, I'm going to put him in light. He's not my favorite player of the Canucks, but he's definitely a player that I enjoy watching. Has a great shot. I think Canucks fans should be really excited to have him on their team. Clayton Keller, I'm going to go with like. I don't watch a lot of games of his because he plays with Arizona, similar to a lot of the Western teams, but he's a very good player, and it's a good, important part of that Coyotes team. Connor McDavid, easy. One of my favorite players of all time, just like Ovechkin. The best player in the NHL. His speed is unbelievable. How fast he can deke around guys while not losing speed, not losing control of the puck is pretty amazing. David Pastrnak, going to put him in really light. Similar to Marchand, how he plays with the Boston Bruins. He would probably be one of my favorite players if it wasn't for that, being a Habs fan. But I watched him play in person just like Marchand, the rest of the guys. Such a cool player, really. Great shot. He's electric. He's young. He's very, very good. Cool nickname as well, Pasta. I'm going to put him in really light. Dylan Larkin, I'm going to put him in like. He's one of the better players, if not the best player of the Red Wings. Very, very, very fast. One of the fastest guys in the league. Dynamic player. I'm going to put him in light. Elias Pettersson, he's one of my favorite players. I actually own a jersey of Pettersson as well as McDavid. I don't have an OV1. Maybe someday. Elias Pettersson, I really like the Vancouver Canucks being a Canadian team. Great young talent, and I love Elias Pettersson as a player. His skill, his shot, very, very cool. Eric Stahl, I'm going to put him in neutral. Just like I know how good a player he was, especially in his prime with the Carolina Hurricanes. Veteran player is not as his prime anymore. I'm going to put him in neutral. Evgeny Malkin, I'm going to put him one of my favorites. Being able to watch guys like Malkin, Ovechkin since the start of their career, seeing them how dominant they were from day one, really, really cool. I've seen him play in real life as well. Evgeny Kuznetsov, I'm going to put in like. He's a very good teammate of Alex Ovechkin and a very important part of that Washington Capitals team. He's a pretty good player. I'm going to put him in light. Philip Forsberg, I really like him. He has great deeks, great hands. A fast player and part of a very cool, very entertaining Nashville Predators team. Gonna put him in really light. Jack Eichel, for a long time, I was like, started off kind of neutral with him. Then it kind of grew on me to be a fan of Jack Eichel. So I'm actually going to put him in favorite. I kind of actually feel bad that he's on the Buffalo Sabres because he has such talent. He was actually one of my first picks in my fantasy draft I recently did. And just, I want to watch him succeed. He's such a great young player. And I heard rumors he was a Habs fan growing up. Not sure that's true, but that would be pretty cool if so. Jamie Benn, I like the guy. Jamie Benn, I like that player. Big body, of course, with the Dallas Stars. Him, Sagan, Radulov, very, very good line. He's a pretty dominant player, and he had some amazing years when the Art Ross years ago as well. So I'm going to put him in light. John Tavares, that's Johnny Gaudreau, sorry. I like John Tavares. I mean, I was disappointed he went to the Leafs, but as a player, he's a class player, very talented. He's been good for many, many years since he joined the league with the Islanders, and really good player. I'm a fan of him. Johnny Gaudreau, I really like Johnny Hockey. I have him in my fantasy league as well. I'm actually going to be posting a video soon of my fantasy team in an NHL franchise mode, so you guys can see who I drafted. I think it's going to be fun. Very fast player. He's a bit smaller, but very skilled. Makes his size work with the Jonathan Huberdeau, I'm going to put him, I can't put him in favorite right now, but I'm going to put him in really light. Seen him play while I was with the St. John Sea Dogs and QMJ. Jonathan Toews, I really like Jonathan Toews. He was very good, of course, with Team Canada and the World Juniors. Captain Series, as they call him, won a lot of hardware in his career. Jonathan Toews is one of the most important pieces of that Blackhawk dynasty they had, and I really like Jonathan Toews. Leon Draisaitl is one of my favorite players now, seeing how dominant him and Connor are with the Edmonton Oilers, being a player from Germany. I always like to see players from, like, not necessarily the powerhouse countries like Canada, USA, Russia. I really want to see more diversity with the nationalities in the NHL. Guys like Marco Rossi, Leon Draisaitl, Tim Stützle, I think is great for a game of hockey. Represent Germany being one of the best players in the league. I love that. Logan Couture, I like Logan Couture. Great player for the San Jose Sharks. He's a very good playoff performer as well, which I respect of him. Mark Scheifele, I really like Mark Scheifele. I think he could go in favorite soon, but being injured last year in the playoffs was very sad for him, and I think he's going to come back very strong this year. And I'm excited to see what him and Laine can do with the Winnipeg Jets, Wheeler, guys like that. Really like Mark Stone. He was for a while pretty underrated as an NHL player, given that, like, two ways. He steals the puck from everybody. He's really strong on a puck. Very fun to watch. Big fan of Mark Stone. Same for Matthew Barzal. I think that he's an electric player. Some fireworks on the ice. Really like watching him play. Matt Duchene, I'm going to put him in light. He's a very good player, and now with the Nashville Predators. And watching him play, moving from different teams, from the Blue Jackets, Senators, Predators. He's moved a lot. I really want to watch him find a good home and succeed. Max Domi, I'm going to put him in, I want to put him in favorite. He was one of my favorite players. I'm going to put him in really light. A big fan of him while he was with Montreal. Still a fan of him while he's going to be in Columbus. I actually read his book about a story how he has diabetes. I think that with Montreal, he couldn't reach his full potential. I think that he still has a lot to show. He has a lot of talent, and I'm wishing him all the best in Columbus. Mika Zibanejad, it's going to go, I guess, in neutral. He was very good for the Ottawa Senators against the Habs for some years, but he's a pretty good player. I could just not, there's some players with the Rangers I tend to like a lot more. But I think he's still a very good player, fun to watch. I'm going to put him in neutral there. Rantanen, I really like Mikko Rantanen with that strong connection with the Avalanche, Landeskog, McKinnon. They're so talented, so fun to watch. I'm going to put Marner in light. I really like watching Marner play, but I think having him play in Toronto as a rival kind of like puts away some of my lightness for him. As is for like guys like Matthews, but just watching his talent, how fast he is, skilled hands, he's a really fun player to watch. Nathan McKinnon is one of my favorite players in the league. I own a jersey of him as well. Being from Nova Scotia, I'm actually in New Brunswick, so neighboring province. He's a maritimer like myself. One of the most dynamic players, very strong, very fast, big shot. One of the best overall players in the league. Really like Nathan McKinnon. Backstrom, I'm going to put him in light, similar to Kuznetsov. Big fan of Ovechkin, but I like his teammates as well. Backstrom, a big part of that Capitals team. He's setting up a lot of passes. Very good player there. Nico Hischier, I'm going to put him in neutral. I like that player. I wish he would produce more. I guess him and Jack Hughes. I would really like to see them succeed more. Unfortunately, not with a great team. But I'm going to put Nico Hischier right there. Nikita Kucherov, one of my favorite players in the league. Such a talented player. It sucks that he's out for a whole year for Tampa Bay. I enjoyed watching him and the rest of the Lightning succeed in the playoffs. I'm a big fan of superstars, as you guys can see there. Same goes for Patrick Kane. Same goes for Patrick Laine. Patrick Kane, for so many years, dominant. One of the best American players ever. Watching him succeed with 3 cups in Chicago, just like Jonathan Toews. Laine, elite goal scorer. Young guy, really flashy, electric player. Really like those kinds of players for sure. Couturier, I really like Sean Couturier as well. Very big center, good two-way centerman for the Philadelphia Flyers. Fun to watch. Sebastian Aho, I really like watching him play as well. There's not really a lot of players that I truly dislike. Aho and the guys like him, Svechnikov, such good talent. He's a smaller guy, like similar to Gaudreau, but very fast skill with the puck. Sidney Crosby is easy. One of the favorite players of all time. I've had a jersey of him as well. Similar to McKinnon being from Nova Scotia. Both of them from Nova Scotia. It's really cool to see being I'm in New Brunswick, so Maritimers like myself. Crosby, one of the best players of all time. Such a big respect for him. I love watching him play. So dominant. Golden goal for Team Canada. Really nothing bad to say about Sidney Crosby at all. Taylor Hall, I'm going to put him in like he's a very good player that didn't have a lot of chance, I guess, to succeed necessarily. Went to Arizona, went to Devils. Now he's with Buffalo, with Jack Eichel. I'm excited to see what those two guys can do. I would really like to see him have another good year. Obviously, won a Hart Trophy with the Devils. Too bad he's not with Edmonton anymore. I would like to see what him, Draisaitl, and McDavid could do together. Tyler Seguin, a big fan of Tyler Seguin. A very, very good player. One of the elites in the league. Of course, he's going to miss some time this year, which sucks, but really like watching him play. Victor Arvidsson, I'm going to go in neutral. I mean, I don't necessarily watch highlights of him too much. More highlights of Philip Forsberg if I do watch Nashville highlights. Nothing really against him, just not a fan as I am with other players. Vladimir Tarasenko, similar to Seguin. Similar players, very strong players, and good shot, very skilled. Similar players in terms of both losing time this year as well, but big fan of both of them. William Nylander is going to put in, I guess, neutral. Like, I'm not a big fan of him, plays with the Maple Leafs. He's a very good, talented player, not taking away from his talent for sure. Steven Stamkos is going to put in favorites, one of my favorite players in the league. One of the best goal scorers. I really want him to stay healthy. I have him in my fantasy league, so I hope he stays healthy and scores a lot of goals. Claude Giroux, going to go in really light. One of the best players for that Flyers team for many, many years, if not the best. Really like watching him play. He was involved in the mix of that big rivalry between the Penguins and the Flyers. J.K. Voracek, gonna go in neutral. Like, I'm not a big fan of him, but I respect he has a lot of talent. I do really like Claude Giroux, though. Patrice Bergeron, he's actually one of my favorite players in the league, even though he plays for Boston. One of the best two-way center, in my opinion, in the NHL. He's so good. That line with Pastrnak and Marchand is so good. And I really enjoy watching Bergeron play. A class act. Nothing bad to say about him at all. Like, similar like a Joe Sakic. Like, you can't really dislike him at all, regardless of the team he plays for. Which leads me to Blake Wheeler. I really like Blake Wheeler, a big power forward. Enjoy watching him play. Part of that Elite Four group that Winnipeg Jets have. So there you go. Here's my list for the forwards. You got about 13 players in favorites, a bunch in really light, some in like, a few in neutral. and Brad Marchand there. Not a fan. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Do leave a like if you enjoyed. I would like to see who are your favorite players. So leave them in the comments below, guys. Subscribe if you're new so you don't miss out on any of the content. Hit that notification bell as well. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a great day.